Hello everyone, I am BowserJrXD. Welcome to the Michelin French Grand Prix at the Bugatti Circuit in Le Mans. Race 6 of 24 from 22 for MotoGP in 2025. Yes, 22 race, not 24. So, for the second time in a row, we have French driver on pole, Fabio Quartararo. With the Marquez brothers behind him. A little worse qualifying for the other major Ducati, Francesco Bagnaia. Obviously, let's see what else. I want to say Jorge Martin is still out, and we also have Chamkiat Chantra out. He had arm pump surgery after the Spanish Grand Prix, and so he is missing today as a result. We also have wildcard driver or Honda test driver Takaki Nakagami for the first time since he vacated the ride that Chamkiat Chantra is currently driving. It's the first time since last year. All right, turning over to the starting lineup real quick while I try to get my stream going so I can watch it because the race is on FS2 and I don't have FS2. Okay, starting 32nd, driving the number 30. 22nd, driving number 30, Honda RC213V for Honda HRC Test Team. 33 years old from Chiba, Japan, Takaki Nakagami. Starting 21st, driving the number 32, Aprilia RSGP 25 for Aprilia Racing. 32 years old from Cesena, Italy, Lorenzo Savadori. Starting 20th, driving the number 88, Yamaha YZR M1 for Prima Yamaha MotoGP. 30 years old from Almada, Portugal, Miguel Oliveira. The first time. I want to say the first time. It's his first race, I think, since the Argentine Grand Prix, where he got injured. Starting 19th, driving the number 79, Aprilia RSGP 25 for Trackhouse Racing. 24 years old from Kiyoshi, Japan, Ayagura. The lowest of the two rookies today. Starting 18th, driving number 23, KTM RC16 for Red Bull KTM Tech 3. 27 years old from Rimini, Italy, Enea Bastianini. Starting 17th, driving for number 49, Ducati Desmosedici GP25 for Pertamina Enduro VR46 Racing Team. 26 years old from Rome, Italy, Fabio De Gianantonio. Starting 16th, driving the number 10, Honda RC213V for Honda HRC Castrol. 27 years old from Urbino, Italy, Luca Marini. Starting 15th, driving the number 42, Yamaha YZR M1 for Monster Energy Yamaha MotoGP. No. Starting 15th, driving the number 36, Honda RC213V for Honda HRC Castrol. 27 years old from Palma, Spain, Joan Mir. Starting 14th, driving the number 42, Yamaha YZR M1 for Monster Energy Yamaha MotoGP Team. 29 years old from Barcelona, Spain, Alex Rins. Starting 13th, driving the number 33, KTM RC16 for Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. 29 years old from Potchefstroom, South Africa, Brad Binder. Now for the top 12, the round 2 qualifiers. Starting 12th, driving the number 37, KTM RC16 for Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. 20 years old from Mazarrón, Spain, Pedro Acosta. Starting 11th, driving the number 5, Honda RC213V for Castrol Honda LCR. 34 years old from Caen, France, Johan Zarco. Starting 10th, driving the number 25, Aprilia RSGP 25 for Trackhouse Racing. 24 years old from Madrid, Spain, Raul Fernandez. Starting 9th, driving the number 21, Ducati Desmosedici GP24 for Pertamina Enduro VR46 Racing Team. 30 years old from Rome, Italy, Franco Morbidelli. Starting 8th, driving the number 43, Yamaha YZR M1 for Prima Yamaha MotoGP. 30 years old from Townsville, Australia, Jack Miller. Starting 7th, driving the number 72, Aprilia RSGP 25 for Aprilia Racing. 26 years old from Rimini, Italy, Marco Bezzecchi. Starting 6th, driving the number 63, Ducati Desmosedici GP25 for Ducati Lenovo team. 28 years old from Turin, Italy, Francesco Bagnaia. Starting 5th, driving the number 12, KTM RC16 for Red Bull KTM Tech 3. 30 years old from Figueres, Spain, Maverick Vinales. Starting 4th, driving the number 54, Ducati Desmosedici GP24 for BK8 Gresini Racing MotoGP. 20 years old from Murcia, Spain. Fermin Aldeguer, the highest starting rookie. Starting 3rd, driving the number 73, Ducati Desmosedici GP24 for BK8 Gresini Racing MotoGP. 29 years old from Cervera, Spain, Alex Marquez. Starting 2nd, driving the number 93, Ducati Desmosedici GP25 for Ducati Lenovo team. 32 years old from Cervera, Spain, Marc Marquez. And on the pole, driving the number 20, Yamaha YZR M1 for Monster Energy Yamaha MotoGP team. With a pole time of 1 minute, 29.324 seconds, and an average speed of 104.787 miles per hour, or 168.667 kilometers per hour. 26 years old from Nice, France, Fabio Quartararo. And that is your starting lineup for today's Michelin French Grand Prix. All right. Just got on mute.
Matter in the sprint, the points aren't as important. Well, they are if you want to become a world champion. Well, this is Le Mans, this is the French Grand Prix. Question marks over the weather. It's going to be tasty. Let's hand down to our commentators, Gav and Neil.
The home hero leading the pack, the championship leader lurking behind, and with rain in the air, flag-to-flag rules ready to kick in. MotoGP in France never failing to stir the emotions. We're ready to go racing at Le Mans.
This track is... Oh, I'll get to that in a bit.
Welcome
What
to
happened?
Le Mans. The jewel in the French motorsport crown, a rich racing.
It cut off. Come on.
Over 120,000 fans, all holding their breath.
I love that theme, and they cut it off. And they did it at Coda too because there were problems with some of the drive bikes riders. They switched bikes.
Throw this race into chaos. Quartararo and Zarco are looking to end France's 70-year wait for a Premier Class winner at home, but Marc Marquez stands in the way. Of course, he's won every
30-second warning to start.
The standings, and he's hungry for more after his mess up at home in Jerez. The conditions are the worst you could imagine for the MotoGP field of 22. Spots of rain falling. Slick's the choice for now. We've seen the bikes down there in pit lane. There's a strong chance we'll need them. And a bike swap mid-race. Strap yourselves in. This could be a classic. Neil Hodgson, are you happy to be here and not out there?
You do not want to be on a MotoGP bike heading into turn one. Look at the rain on the screen. You can see that it's coming down. Oh, there we go. Already now, look at this, the riders are going straight. The problem is, this is the tipping point. When does the rain stop evaporating?
It's raining.
Evaporating. Now, they're on an ice ring. You've slick tyres, the temperature's draining out of those slicks, and it's like you're on the greasiest of greasy tracks. What do you do? No one knows what the weather's going to do. Do you pit now? Do you go on your spare bike now? Do you go on your wet bike now? If you do, well, all of a sudden it stops raining. You've made a mistake. It's horrible conditions.
The white flag is being waved at the side of the track. That means riders now may enter pit lane at the end of this warm-up lap to change the bike and change tyres. Start the race from pit lane, though, but there are no further penalties. New rules clarified. Everyone made the warm-up lap, so the other ones are out. Here we go. Around the outside for Marco Bezzecchi. Making it lively down towards garage there. But we are at the that tipping point right here, right now. They've gone with slick front and rear tyres. We've got an all-time record for MotoGP over the racing weekend. Over 120,000 today, 311,000 over the weekend. Oh, this is already looking chaotic. Marc Marquez having a look around.
Quartararo reclaiming his
Is anyone
spot.
going to take the risk of diving into the pits to start on wet tyres? The white flag there, you can see it being waved, Neil.
Hervé Poncharal described it perfect. Hero or zero, no one knows. Genuinely, if you come in now and you go on the wet bike and it pours down,
So
you've got such an
so
advantage.
it's kind of how long do you think will the rain stay? That's the question.
It's hard to tell. Someone's
I have to look at the weather forecast.
Oh, the white flag. He was getting out the red flag there, wasn't he, the marshal? Have we got people? That pit lane we have. Marc Marquez is one of them.
Oh.
In fact, most of them are coming down.
Only 2 drive, only 1 drive. No, they're all going in.
More than 10 riders.
Why wouldn't you? Stay out.
Well,
Stay out. Take
it
the
doesn't
risk.
matter. More than 10 now. It's done.
What happens if it's wet?
Sure, we'll have a quick start procedure, won't we? Because you can't have more than 10 riders starting the race from pit lane. There will be a quick restart procedure. They've all decided it's going to be a quick restart. So it doesn't really matter any of this now, surely, as they go out there. Because there's more than 10 riders. It will be red flagged. Here we go. Red flag. There we are. Excessive number of riders at pit lane. So we'll have a quick start now. They can just take a moment. Take a moment to think about. There's Graham Webber. He's race director for Moto2 and Moto3, and he's actually on the flag. Right.
Red flag.
That made it easier.
Yes,
that was a
it
bit
did.
like Marc Marquez running off the grid in Kota, that. But everyone decided to come down pit lane.
And it's the right decision. It's made it safer for everybody. It's okay, you got away, but what a spectacle we would have had. You don't want to tip into turn 1 with slicks on. It's 200 miles an hour on a wet track. Yeah.
So Maverick Vinales, just like in Kota, he's going to have his bike pushed back down and have a quick race restart. They will drop the race distance by a single lap, and we'll have a quick start procedure at 14:08. That is in
5 minutes.
time. The pit
Okay.
lane will open for 1 minute. The riders allow one mechanic on the grid.
Watch this. Watch his front wheel lock. Get ready.
Oh, that's a good save for Fabio Quartararo.
And essentially
He's
what
got
he's
a
doing now,
special
he's trying to generate some heat in his
fire suit
discs and
today
he's smiling.
because of the fact that
Get
because
your
he's in his
attention
home race.
there. Oh, that's horrible.
I think he's on his
Jolt
2
of
French
adrenaline
drivers.
in the veins of Fabio Quartararo and a wry smile to boot. Right, what does this do now in this situation? How ahead of us? Is it still a foregone conclusion that Marc Marquez is going to win it?
No, not at all. Not in these
Well,
tricky
not in rain.
conditions. Of
Anything's
course,
possible
we
in
know
the
Marc's
rain.
good in changeable
We'll be right back.
conditions. But it throws in a lottery element. Of course, it depends what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes regarding the weather. If it rains a lot, we're going to have a wet race. They'll start on wet tyres.
Because we're going to gamble.
I was just about to say, it's been like this for the last half an hour. I've been in this commentary box in and out for half an hour, and it's been drizzling, but it's been evaporating on the ground. So it has been borderline being wet enough for wets.
How ironic that after the chaos in Kota, that when we come here, they bring out these new rules and they've been used straight away in the first race. I'm not surprised. 11 out of the previous 23 Grand Prix at Le Mans since we came back here in the year 2000 have had some form of rain at some point. So that makes it 50% chance. I expect the stats for the British Grand Prix aren't too dissimilar.
Aren't that good anyway? No,
All the
that's
Dutch
true.
TT as well. So there we see a reduction in the laps, was 27 down to 26. And the pit lane will open for 1 minute in 3 minutes' time.
But nothing's sort of changed, if you know what I mean. It's not like, well, look, it's wet. It's not. It's still slicks. In fact, I'm just going to have a look now. I need to have a look. One sec.
I'll let you go and do that. You put your mic down, yeah? Right, Alex Marquez, is he keeping his cool down in the Gresini Racing garage after another second place behind his brother yesterday? Broke his winning duck, of course, at the Spanish Grand Prix. Neil's outside having a powwow with Sylvain Guintoli, who's got experience himself. He led a French Grand Prix at home in yellow Tech 3 colours. If you remember the Dunlop-sponsored machine they had
2 minutes.
that year.
Quick start, yeah. So race distance reduced by 1 lap, 26 laps now.
Guess what?
Race distance
Honestly,
was
I've been
going to be
switching
just
for
over
seconds.
70 miles.
I've been sitting
Yeah,
there with
70
Sylvain, and
miles.
Sylvain's saying, literally, I
Track
think
length
you've
is
got to start
2.6
wet,
miles
because
or
you're going to respond enough with slicks,
4.185
and two,
kilometers.
You're going to be going that slow, you're going to lose a load of time because you can't risk going any faster. But trust me, it's still not wet, but it's gone greasy underfoot. Yeah, it's a gamble.
If we have a look down here, Frankie Morbidelli, he's just down in his garage, and he was strong this morning in the warm-up. He was third quickest. Schwammir was the fastest in the wet weather. Ask Sylvain to just jump on the microphone quickly.
Yeah, he's got a bit more experience than anyone.
He was here 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, in the Le Mans 24-hour race, leading the 24-hour race in similar conditions, Sylvain. So go on. What would you do?
Well, this is really, really tricky conditions. I mean, the thing is... Well, this is really, really tricky conditions. I mean, the thing is, in Le Mans here, it's a very low abrasion track. So as soon as you get a little bit of water, a little bit of standing water, as in, like, the tarmac gets a little bit wet, you're not going to get the grip at all with the slicks. And you're going to lose a lot of time. You're going to take massive risks as well to try and even keep heat into the tires. So even if it's just a tiny little bit wet, you will gain a lot. You'll be a lot safer, and you'll gain a lot of time by putting the wets and then doing a flag to flag and swapping bikes when the track is actually dry.
In a 50 rider, effectively filled the 24 hours, 200 crashes, so an average of 4 per bike that was out there. And you said you could crash with the bike upright.
It was absolute carnage, you know, doing that race. Just very, very low grip, and you know, out of last turn, as we've seen, you know, in the Red Bull rookies, and as we see every time he's wet, he's grinning. He's grinning. He's loving it. He's loving it. How fun is that?
That was Jack Miller.
Yeah. So very, very tricky. Last corner, very tricky in the wet or when it's a little bit damp. And yeah, for the riders, you know, they've got to go with the. I think they're coming out with the wets, aren't they? Yeah, Pecco is going to go on the grid with the wet, it looks like. So this will be a quick start procedure. So the end of the pit lane is going to be open for about 30 seconds, I think. So they have to get out really, really quickly.
1 minute.
Is it
one
a minute?
mechanic on the grid. Does anyone gamble it?
It's wet. You can't change on the grid as well, can you?
No.
These are the tyres they start the race
with. You do another
right.
warm-up lap afterwards, and Marc Marquez can't take the risk. In the championship position, you can't. It would only be someone further down the order that really would realistically do it. Right, they're heading out onto their sighting lap. Another question, while you're just in for a moment, Sylvain, what are you mentioned the last corner, where are the other difficult parts to find grip around here in these kinds of conditions?
Turn three, because it's hard in the dry and in the wet to generate the temperature onto the left side of the tire in turn 3. So when you change direction from right to left and you go into the Dunlop chicane into turn 3, it's very easy to crash as well, and that's a crash hotspot as well.
What's it like to lead a French Grand Prix as a Frenchman?
Well, I was going to say, this is very similar conditions as in 2007, and at the time you just saw those. I remember seeing those drops of rain as an opportunity. You're French. You can't.
All right, now they're back. They're on their. I guess they call them the sighting lap.
You can take the risk, take the gamble, go for it, and yeah, have a go.
Last word from you, Sylvain. Have you got a Johann Zarco feeling?
I do, actually. Yeah, Johann Zarco feeling. He's very, very strong in the wet, Johann Zarco. He's also very strong with a drying track. We know he can manage the temperature in his rear tire really well, and he's done great performances in those conditions before. So, yeah, Johann Zarco, I mean, obviously, my heart would love a French hero today, and I think we've heard a lot of. I love the Spanish.
When was the last time a French driver
I would like to hear the French
won
again.
Well,
the
there was an
French Grand
impromptu
Prix?
one when Fabio Quartararo took pole position yesterday, and who knows, Neil, thanks to Sylvain for that insight. Invaluable, of course. He was here, racing here, just a few weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago, for the Le Mans 24-hour race, and that's so cool to hear from you as we get them out on their final sighting lap here, Neil. Foot down from Marc Marquez. He's thinking about it, isn't he?
Well, he's
usually good at choosing the moment.
So and this could be the moment to come in now.
What happens now if 10 more riders come down pit lane?
Look, Mark's waiting. Everyone's waiting because
it's
you don't.
Prix. Sylvain's come in and said it's Prix now.
On the top level, the last time a French driver won the French Grand Prix when it was an official race was Pierre Monteret in 1954. Oh, come on.
Surely not. Yeah, into pit lane. Now, I'll tell you
Again?
who's going to do it. I can't believe what we're seeing here.
4, 5, 6, 7.
If you see Marc Marquez do it.
8, 9.
10.
Yeah, so we'll have another quick restart, won't we?
You gotta be kidding me. Well, this time, I guess.
But they can't start the race from pit lane. The rules are now you can't have more than 10 riders starting a race from pit lane. That was the new rule, so surely another red flag. Or do they go and rejoin up on the grid?
Come on, that'd not be.
Just
That would
rejoin
be
it from
fair.
the original positions. Okay, this is it. This is the new rules in action right here then. Because this is a pre-warm-up lap. Of course, there's another warm-up lap to come now. And so, these riders will join up in their original grid positions and have 2 long lap penalties. I can't believe that we've got these rules in action already. My mistake before.
9 drivers stayed out by my count.
Is someone making a note of who's on wet tyres here and who's on slicks? There's just too many of them.
One thing to add as
All the
well,
riders in
speaking to
pit
someone
lane must
with his
take 2
radar,
long
he
lap
said that
penalties.
there is definitely, in about 20 minutes' time, a heavy pack
Yeah,
of rain.
I've seen it. I've looked at the same weather radar too. Crucially, championship leader Marc Marquez has come in for slick tyres.
His brother has not.
Pecco Bagnaia has stayed out on wet tyres. That's the headline for me.
Yes, I think Alex Marquez
on
stayed out.
the wet tyres there. There is a white flag with a red.
Let's see. I mean, I see
meaning that rain is falling in
Marquez.
that
I
area.
don't.
The other thing that we mentioned when we were down at
No, the
Turn 1,
other
Neil,
one.
it could be raining at Garage Vert and not at Recordama, and vice versa.
Another thing worth mentioning, I say this a lot, the curbs will be like sheet ice right now. They'll hold the rain. It doesn't evaporate off the paint as quickly as it does off the tarmac. So very, very tricky conditions.
I talk about Fabio Quartararo's adrenaline with front lock on that first warm-up lap. I feel pretty much the same. I don't feel thrilling. I don't think so here.
Any rider who leaves the grid and starts the warm-up lap from pit lane will start from the original grid position and serve a double long lap penalty. Okay.
The eventuality of people coming in, starting the warm-up lap from pit lane. So, Marc Marquez will be on slick tyres for the start of the race. It's windy out there, that's the other thing, so it's going to be cool. They're soft fronts and rears on the slick tyres that the riders are using.
I've just gone outside to double check. It's stopping, but there is still a little bit in the air.
And at certain corners, we've seen the white flag with the red cross. We've seen it from the helicopter overhead. This is going to be
a wild
ride, ladies and gentlemen. It was box office on Saturday, and now we go again. But this time, it's Grand Prix glory up for stake. Home hero on pole, Fabio Quartararo. My understanding is he's on the wet tyres. I'm not certain on that. Marc Marquez, of course, alongside, we know he's definitely on the slick tyres. The threat of rain, more rain hanging heavy. He has gone for the slick tyres. My apologies. So, he and Marquez alongside each other. Flag-to-flag rules in effect.
All right.
Long lap penalty for Marquez and Quartararo already. The air electric, but it's
all righty. Here we go for the first time.
We've got 26 laps ahead of us. Who knows what's going to happen?
Lights off. One lights off. We're green at Le Mans. Good start for Marc Marquez. He's got the, but he doesn't have to take his penalty. There's Quartararo trying to get around him. Go to the inside. Probably trying to go around again the outside, or trying to cover on the inside. Oh, Bagnaia! Bagnaia's down!
Again on his wet tyres, and he's with one of the, I think it might have been Marini, was it?
Yeah, either Marini or Mir, I'm not too sure.
It was Juan Mir. It was Juan Mir and Enea Bastianini, who's with them as well. Enea was trying to hang on to the bar.
And Bastianini.
Wow!
And Mir, oh, someone went wide. That's one of the...
Alex Marquez, right. Quartararo leads the way from Marc Marquez in second place, Alex Marquez in third. The three of them will have double long lap penalties to take as they came in and changed. For me,
Quartararo is the leader now, ahead of Marc Marquez and all that. There were a lot of stuff happening. Across up to P5, along with his teammate Brad Binder.
Bagnaia has to get up and go if he can.
Yeah.
Mir trudges away because he's not out of it. Bagnaia has remounted, 14 seconds behind Bastianini, who's 15 seconds behind Nakagami. So he's about 35 seconds off the leaders, but it could change in an instant. The bike doesn't look too badly damaged. If it starts raining, Bagnaia is not in the worst position here.
Listen to this crowd. I mean, it's just...
Yeah, Quartararo's starting to pull away a bit. They finished the first lap.
So it's Quartararo across the line from Marc Marquez, just as we saw yesterday.
All right, 25 laps to go.
Firmino Aldeguer is fourth, Pedro Costa up to fifth, Maverick Vinales sixth, Binder seventh. It's like the sprint at the moment. Already, people coming in to change. Double long lap penalties.
Alex Rins on pit road, Marco Bezzecchi on pit road, Marini on pit road.
For leaving the grid, the new rules that were brought into place this weekend. Marini, Bezzecchi and Rins have come in, and they've had to change onto slick tyres.
It just goes to show it's a long pit lane as well. You have to have the pit lane limiter all the way up to turn 3, essentially.
If you're Pecco Bagnaia now, down there, 35 seconds behind or whatever you might be, right?
You might as well stay out
You
on
might
wets.
as well stay out on wets.
Stay out on wets and just hope in the next 2 laps it rains and then you can gain that time back.
We'll just have to see what happens here. Fabio Quartararo is like a scolded cat, isn't he, out the front? He is. Oh no, Bagnaia straight.
Bagnaia switching to us.
You know, we talked last year, do you remember Jorge Martin? Do you remember in Misano, and they had that moment we thought...
So Bagnaia switching to the slick play.
Decision. I don't know whether that's the right decision, because if it rains now, he's going to lose out, because he's going to have to change the tyres, but anyway...
Here comes Alex.
Ooh, look at a little squirrely from Alex. He goes to the inside of his brother, Alex Marquez, to P2.
Have we? No, not at all.
Let him pass once in Thailand. Have you seen Alex actually pass Mark?
Well, is he going to come straight back at him, or is Mark going to use
Furman
his
Aldegar looking for his
here?
first
I'm sure
podium.
that Bagnaia is out. Oh, still going over the curve.
Yeah,
Alex
touching the white line there. I'm surprised at that. 24 laps to go.
Quartararo, fastest lap.
Up the home
Yeah,
straight we go.
34s, they're going faster than I thought they would be, to be honest.
And that's the pace that Fabio Quartararo is.
Bastianini's been given a long lap penalty, so is Maverick Vinales.
Quartararo and co can't take that penalty
And Morbidelli.
until it comes up on their dashboard, just so you know.
Oh, so they're going to do it in stages, are they?
Well, I don't know. They've only put... Oh, now Quartararo's got his. So Quartararo now, he knows he can take his, but you can't come in.
Oh,
You know you're getting the
I didn't realize
penalty, but you can't
Quartararo
take it until it's come up on your dash.
had to
And
change
it
the
hasn't
penalty.
yet just come up for Agura, but it hasn't come up for Marc Marquez yet. That's another thing in this race. You've got 3 laps to do
So,
once it comes up.
Okay, Iagura,
So
Fernandez,
that's
Raul
another
Fernandez.
Challenge. Yeah, choice. Here we go. Quartararo's going
So,
already with one of them.
The Red Bull
So he's giving
KTM
up the
Tech
lead in the
3s,
race.
the Trackhouse guys,
I'm going to have to get my calculator out.
and
Would you
then
bring your
the
abacus
21's
then?
Morbidelli with
Because he has
VR46,
done one of
and
his
then
long
the
laps.
last one
And
is
he now stays ahead of
Quartararo,
Maverick Vinales.
and then
Oh,
Furman Aldegar,
Vinales
Marc
forcing
Marquez.
Quartararo high up there. Now Aldegar and Marc Marquez.
So Alex
are
Marquez
there.
is
Laps
the
come
leader.
up on their dashboards. All riders with
The
yellow
3 of the drivers
warning
behind
lights on
him,
the left-hand side of the
the
screen
next
have
3 drivers behind him
done
will have to
penalties.
serve their penalties.
On the ones with the arrows down the bottom, they have changed from wet tyres.
Fabio
to slicks.
Antonio was also
What
in
a
there, the other
remarkable start to
VR46
this
driver.
race that we have had. I can't
Pedro,
even, I want to recap it already
well.
what we've seen, but there's still a long, long way to go in.
And the reality is,
Binder.
half the well, it wasn't quite. Like I said, just over half chose that made the right decision. The others didn't.
That Pecco Bagnaia ahead of them on the racetrack as well. Here comes Quartararo
Alex
and
Marquez.
Binder.
That's brave.
Wow.
The problem he's got is trying to stay ahead of a KTM as well, isn't it? We saw how powerful
I think they have to
those
say they have
KTMs
3
were.
laps to make their
Moving back
penalty.
up. So yeah, that's Bagnaia. He is just cruising around
Bagnaia
at the
gets
moment.
lapped.
And he's about to be lapped. Marc Marquez, that will be welcome for him. But Bagnaia, I have to say, it felt like the wrong decision to come in straight
Oh.
away. It may well
Bike
be in the long
broken.
run, the right.
Oh, contact there between Marc Marquez and Furman Aldegar.
Now,
What were we saying this morning in the car? They got on really well. They're good friends. They do a bit of training together.
Marc Marquez thought about going down the long lap loop.
All right, we got the BK8 bros as well as
Alex Marquez and Fabio Aldegar
one of the
have done it close to the
KTMs.
white line. That one was for Maverick Vinales.
It was
Really
yeah,
close.
Vinales.
We're still not quite sure who's leading on track. Fabio Quartararo has taken one of his
Marquez. Oh yeah, I forgot they have to do it twice. That's right.
No, but not on track, but in time, because Fabio's already taken one.
He is looking superb here. There has not been a French winner of the French Grand Prix in France since, here we go, oh, I thought in the blue S's, since Pierre Monneray in 1954 at Reims.
Think about Fabio now. Obviously, he's at home. He's just going to throw
This is
everything
a
at it.
very
He's nowhere really in the
race to
championship.
start.
Not leading now, but...
No, Quartararo's down. Bender's down.
And that's it, to white line, or we talked about that corner being the one to catch you out. You can do it even when you're upright. Oh, disaster.
Damn. Oh
French
man, the
hero.
guy
He
who
has crashed
looking,
out
I think,
to
might have had
Marquez.
this race.
Someone else
It was his
had
race
Binder.
to lose, and he lost
Is
it.
it a white line? No.
It's
Marquez at a moment.
It's exactly where Sylvain said.
Hearing
this
it's
track
raining.
is
I'm hearing
it's where
it
the
is
25
raining
car
at the track.
Sort of joins the racetrack, and that's where that's where the cars sort of grind out and a little bit of alley goes
Alex
down
Marquez
on the top,
ahead
and it
of
makes it
Pedro
like nice.
Acosta.
And
That's for
inside
second
the
place
white line,
now.
actually, so you don't even have to touch the white line. It's just there, isn't it? Just about a couple of inches inside that white line. Disaster for Quartararo.
The first driver thing on wet tires is Jack Miller, back in 11th.
Penalty.
He's sort of 50p'ing it round as
Yeah,
well.
the
It's
rain,
starting
you
to
can see the
rain
rain on the
again.
camera.
This is where, when we were talking,
So Miller, Zarco, Oliveira, Nakagami are the drivers on wet.
It's raining again, and this is where we'd have hoped if Bagnaia had stayed out on the wet tyres, he would be now in a prime position. He'd have lost time, I suppose, over the last couple.
Yeah. Miller's still out there with rain tyres on. He's in 12th place.
And he's only 20 seconds behind. Oh, Fabio Quartararo
This is
furious
long-ass
at the
pit
marshals.
road.
He wants to get going.
Right, get ready. We are getting towards that slippy last corner. We're coming up to it now. This is the penultimate corner. Oh,
There's Allgaier.
Jack
Runner.
Miller is the top.
hey, we've got to change it.
Coming in to change, Acosta.
Acosta and Vinales pitting for wet.
Pit lane to change onto the wet tyres. Jack Miller, all of a sudden, could well be leading this race. Because he is the rider of the fastest who is out there on wet tyres, and he's 9 seconds clear of Johan Zarco, who's also on the wet tyres. And Miller actually has a medium rear, Zarco a soft rear. The brothers get close to each other.
Marquez brothers first and second. They still need to take penalties. Mark Marquez needs one. Alex needs no. Alex needs one. Mark needs two.
Yes, you know, and actually you want your brother past you. You want to follow him. When you're leading, when you've got slick tyres on, you're the first to come across the part of track that it might have rained a bit heavier.
Who else has stayed out there then? Now behind them, yeah, it looks like Allgaier has stayed out. Now Morbidelli is up to 4th. Fernandez, Raul up to 5th. Savadori's in 6th, but he's on slicks. And Jack Miller now in 9th.
I can't believe we're not having more crashes with these slick tyres on.
Mark Marquez takes.
Alex
Alex goes off. Allgaier takes the lead. Bastianini has wrecked again.
He's crashed. Mark Marquez has done it. He's done double long laps. Firmino Allgaier leads a Grand Prix for the first time, but Alex Marquez will have another another single long lap penalty to take. I hope you're following this at home.
Yeah, it's quite
because
easy.
My brain is scrambled.
21 laps to go as well, let's not forget.
Has it got really hot all of a sudden? Does it just, my heart rate is through the roof. Now it's Bastianini.
And is it in the last corner?
Yeah, of course it's going to be.
Watch this, watch it from behind.
Bender Rex. Well, no, he's still out. Never mind.
Right, there were both wheels go. That's when you know there's no grip at all, when both wheels just
Apparently Alex
slide
Marquez is
out.
for-
The warnings.
I whatever.
I'll tell you what, Allgaier stayed out. He's doing a full Brad Binder here. Mark Marquez and Alex Marquez come down pit lane.
The Marquez brothers are it. Allgaier will hold on to the lead.
Leading the way. Who's going to be in second here
I'm scared to watch him go into turn 1. It's raining. He's got slicks on. He's 20 years old. He's brave.
Here we go then. Mark Marquez, a really good bike swap, as you come to expect from Mark Marquez.
Oh,
Alex
Fernandez
leading. So
and
on track. Firmino Allgaier is leading. Fabio Di Gianantonio is second. Lorenzo Savadori.
Morbidelli Rex.
Because Frankie Morbidelli has just crashed out, maybe coming into pit lane in the final corner. Ayagura's up to 4th place. He's on.
Bagnaia also
still.
pit for
The
wet.
top- Where they're running, where's Jack Miller gone? Across the line, no Jack Miller.
Has he crashed?
I think he must have. Johan Zarco is
Where is
the
he?
rider, isn't he? Who's leading on the wet
Wet tyres.
I haven't seen because Mark Marquez hasn't crossed yet. Yeah, Zarco, look on the left-hand tower. Johan Zarco.
Zarco leads the
You
wet
see the front
leads the
end
wets
of the
now.
track. You could see the front literally folding, the front slick.
Oh my
The
God.
problem is also you're losing
There's Fabio
tyre temperature.
Quartararo. I
These
think he's a
tyres
lap
are going
down.
cold when you're
No, it's Alex
lapping.
Rins. Never mind.
12 seconds off the pace.
But Bagnaia's rejoined the race because he entered the pits again. Of course he did. He was on the slicks, so he's had to switch again. 2 bike swaps and a crash for Bagnaia. A disastrous day at the office. Quartararo's out of it. Fabio Di Gianantonio still on the slicks. In
Lorenzo
second place,
Savadori
on a
in
massive
3rd
caution
right
out
now.
for Lorenzo
Going
Savadori.
on the
But
soft
for
tires.
me, the race leader is Johan Zarco in 5th. I have no idea what happened to Miller. Oh, Brad Binder's now gone.
Oh, it's going to be into turn 1.
That was earlier.
Into turn 2. Oh, classed it at turn 2. Well over 100 miles
Someone
an
else
hour.
just went in
So
pit road.
Allgaier's coming in.
Allgaier.
Allgaier's coming in. Alex Rins is staying out on track.
Van Antonio is now the
Rins
leader.
Tyres, but he's down in 17th. So, now to Gian Antonio Salvadori coming in to change. Ogura, I'm sure, will come. That will mean when we cross the line, we actually do have a French leader in this race. Someone else has crashed. Someone else has just crashed in our headset. I've just heard it happen. I hope it's not. Johan Zarco, because here he is at the final corner.
He can't be. Is Zarco leading?
He's leading the Grand Prix.
Johan Zarco, the leader.
By a lot, unheard of, by a long way.
Oliveira.
What did we say about Miguel Oliveira?
Oliveira on his return race is in second.
This morning.
1,000 to 1 for Miguel Oliveira this morning. He has won races like this in the past, let's not forget. Remarkable scenes here at the French Grand Prix.
We're on the 8th lap. This is so freaking nuts. Well, what's his margin?
No, it's by 4.7 seconds.
4
but he's
seconds.
2 seconds a lap quicker than Oliveira.
The Marquez brothers are 22 seconds behind. Oh, wait.
We talked about this.
No, they're 8
morning in
seconds
the
behind
high
this.
car. We talked about
Alex is
whether
9.5
we knew he was gonna win at
behind.
this point.
Mark
We
is
talked about
8.3
Zarco.
behind.
He's great in wet weather conditions.
Does anyone know what's happened with the double long lap penalties and all that? Zarco never actually...
Bezzecchi wrecked.
Did he?
Oh, someone's down on
Bezzecchi, that was a Bezzecchi one. Do you know what he's done? It reminds me a bit of... Remember Bradley Smith in Misano that time?
Yeah.
When he just stayed out on the tyres, kept going on the slicks, and then it came back right.
Proper raining now as well. There's 19 laps to go. The track's going to be completely wet.
This is remarkable. We could be about to witness history here. Keep it on 2 wheels, Johan. This crowd is going wild. They don't care that it's raining. They've got a French runner at the front. Johan Zarco, who won, of course, let's not forget, that epic race back at Phillip Island.
I can't believe Oliveira's lying second. We talked about him this morning. You looked at the odds 1,000 to 1. You're like, yeah, but he's just come back. He's been injured.
Notice that the Alpine colors are on the Prima Premax car. Well, like, I believe it was going to be like that anyway. I just noticed it for the first time now. I thought it was going to be called Alpine Premax Racing, actually.
So Marc Marquez is going to perhaps take Oliveira for second. He is 3 seconds quicker than Oliveira. So he is going to go past. Alex Marquez should as well. He's also 3 seconds quicker. 1:45's fastest rider on track is Pedro Acosta, actually, but he's 12 seconds behind Zarco. Right, so as it stands, we've got an idea of where we are. Double long lap's complete. Has Alex Marquez done his second double long lap? I haven't seen it yet, if he has. We haven't been shown it. And our timing screen has got that much information. We've lost the page. We've lost who's done what. So it's all gone because of all the entering pits and rejoining.
It's a bit early for voting for
Here comes Marc Marquez. Can you get the second? Not yet.
Marc Marquez just trying to find a way through on Oliveira.
Maybe here?
Safely. You don't want your race to be ended because of something wild happening here. Marc is
Maybe
so
here.
much quicker.
He gets it here. I don't know what turn this is.
The garage there. Not even getting his knee down almost into there.
Sylvain said this track in these conditions is horrendous. So slippery. Even when it's full wet, it's so slippery. Look at that. I mean, look at them. Look at the difference there with the Ducati and the Yamaha. I mean, huge.
All right, have 18 laps to go. 8.5 seconds is the gap.
We'll find it at the end of this lap. Johan Zarco is leading Marc Marquez in the race by 8.6.
Honda has not won a race since I don't even know how long. Probably 2021.
Have a look. Yeah, Pedro Acosta. He's closing in a little bit.
Yeah, I think since Marc Marquez won at Misano.
Is only slightly quicker than Zarco had a slip. He had a slip
in a 21. I think that was the last Honda win.
Holding the board out for Johan Zarco. We could have a French Grand Prix winner from France here today
for the first time in...
That 17 to go.
71 years.
71 years.
Johan Zarco has been in this position before. Has led his home Grand Prix. It didn't end well on that occasion. He's finished second in a Grand Prix here at home. He's only ever won one Grand Prix, and that was the
Australia 23
in Phillip Island a couple of years ago. And just imagine if the most French of all riders, Johan Zarco, could do it here in Le Mans.
Well, he's the fastest man on track by quite some, which is concerning. I'm not saying that as a
the last lap, I think Marquez also had to try and pass on Miguel Oliveira.
Another thing to throw into the mix, just to think about, Zarco started on wets when the track was relatively dry. I know it's the fact, though, what happens then with all the power of these bikes, you can take the edge off them. You you can end up in a situation where they wear down really quick on those opening laps. Essentially, his tyres won't be in as good a condition as the riders behind him.
Alex Marquez is quicker than Mark. He's closing in on his brother, he was anyway. Remember, remember in the wet race, Repsol Honda, 2020, late on that year, do you remember? We were back in London, but he finished second on the Repsol Honda in not the same conditions, but similar.
When was the last time LCR Honda won a race?
Like in these races,
that's the team, LCR Honda.
We've had. Obviously, we got the start of Borton. We've had bike swaps.
The last time LCR Honda won a MotoGP race was Alex Rins. Okay, so never mind. The last time Honda won a race was at Coda in 2023 with Alex Rins. Okay, that was the last Honda win, not Marc Marquez 21.
What you need in these long races is
16 to go.
Incredible concentration.
And the gap is increasing.
Nothing else except what's coming towards you. You can't think about what's happened in the past, what your rivals are doing. You have to focus on the corner. Your brake pressure in these conditions is so important. A fraction too much, you'll let the front you down. When you apply the throttle, you have to breathe on it. You can't snap and go straight to 5–10%. It's 1, 2, 3, 4% as you increase it. It is so difficult.
A bit wider there for Marc Marquez as he rides around La Chapelle. This is where he comes into his own, though, in these kinds of conditions, because of his field that he's got. He's able to find the limit.
And then Bastianini speeding.
Bastianini, a double long lap penalty for him. I don't know what happened to Jack Miller. I didn't see a crash, and I feel like he might have retired from the race rather than it be a crash, because he was 9 seconds ahead of Zarco on the road, or might have been even more. So I've no idea what happened. He'd also made this choice that Zarco had.
Yeah, that's why I was really surprised.
Miller's out.
The people who started on wets, when they came in to change their tyres straight away, you're like, no, you've taken that gamble. You've sort of got to ride it out. Otherwise,
what's the point?
What's the point?
That's where we were saying with Bagnaia, don't come in. He'd have been in a prime position now. That 35 seconds would have looked like nothing that he lost by crashing.
Exactly.
Okay, as I say again, he might have lost a bit of time early on in the race, but look at where Zarco is.
If Bagnaia had not come in, Bagnaia would be in the top 10 now.
Yeah. He's currently 17, 55 seconds behind Marco Bezzecchi, who's crashed as well. So this is Pedro Acosta.
About for fourth place. Miguel Oliveira's in fourth. Pedro Acosta is in fifth. We also have 15 laps to go now.
Think about what's happened so far in this race. And still, you can't separate the two Marquez brothers. Like, there's nothing between them. Alex Marquez has been so impressive.
A little bobble there from Acosta. Can't get that spot just yet.
You'd be like, what do I have to do to shake him off?
He's just gone half a second quicker than his brother on that last lap. It's really raining now. Really heavy up towards turn one. It was coming. It was
hope the fans brought their ponchos. Lorenzo Savadori passes Fabio Antonio for 10th. And Acosta takes the fourth position.
Still the fastest man on track, yeah, by quite some.
Still Zarco.
9 seconds now.
That's worrying.
9 seconds with 15 laps to go to make history. For this to be the greatest day of his life. Imagine over here.
In front of the biggest weekend crowd that we've had in the MotoGP era in France.
Yeah, over 300,000 people. And that's
across the
real.
weekend. So I don't like that stat. I mean, Sunday will have the biggest numbers by far, but you gotta be.
They're getting their money's
You gotta say it's that.
Oh, I hope you're following along in this race. It has been a wild ride so far, and we're not even at half race distance. Fermin Aldeguer's there in 7th, took a gamble to stay out an extra lap. Often in these situations, Marc Marquez is a good guide, isn't he? Of when to come in and when to go out, that sort of thing. But Johan Zarco's calculated it best. What I will say is 9 seconds between them. You know, Marc Marquez has already done a double long lap, and he's done a change bike, so he's ridden through the pits.
Yeah.
That was the difference in them.
Yeah, 0-0, though it's a fine line. Hervé Poncharal called it on the grid.
Zarco's about to lap one of the Red Bulls. Maybe that's Bastianini. My guess is that's Bastianini, and I'm right.
Offline, be careful.
These will be the longest 14 laps of Johan Zarco's life.
Yeah.
He is a double Moto2 world champion. He has been a darling of this crowd for years that he's been riding around, since he leapt onto the scene in 2009, and this could be his crowning moment. Marc Marquez is doing his bit for the championship at the moment. He's ready to pick up the pieces should a mistake befall, but I don't think even the cold heart of Marc Marquez, who will do anything to win, would begrudge Johann Zarco winning this race.
No,
I may be wrong. I know he will do anything to win.
Yeah, he would do anything to win, but I think Alex Marquez just lost a bit of pace there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Just broken the elastic to his brother. How far is it? He's got 6 seconds. Alex Marquez, that is. He's 6 seconds in front of Pedro Acosta, who's circulating at a similar lap time to him.
This is the race start. This is Bagnaia mid-pack. Oh, look at it in there. Who's on his inside there?
What was that?
Oh,
There? No.
that was the start.
Bastianini.
Yeah, and then...
There were 4 drivers. No, one just went
And
wide.
look who goes through the gravel. Zarco goes through the gravel.
He does. Good spot.
Oh, incredible.
Oh, that was the start. That scared me. Johann Zarco at the start went through the gravel.
And did he not crash Zarco? Down. This is Zarco's day. If he did,
So that
he
was
should
a
have got
close
down there.
call.
Bagnaia was so unlucky there. That was a silly move from Bastianini. He was on the curb.
But what do we say about the race start?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's the
everyone-
reality of that horrible turn 3. It ride-out devices, everything just works against you.
Right, now, Neil, 3/10 a lap, Zarco is taking on Marc Marquez. When do the teams start to say, manage this one?
Now, yeah, with 9.6 seconds lead.
Did you see the slow blink of Lucio there?
Yeah, team owner. I mean, Lucio Cecchinello. I mean, he's had some special victories himself in his
Battle
career.
for 4th going again. Oliveira. And again, no, that's wrong. This is battle for 5th place, excuse me. Oliveira trying to defend against Maverick Vinales. And the Tech, who's in the Tech 3 KTM.
The first non-Ducati victory for 22 rounds.
It breaks the record and means that Ducati don't
own it on their own.
Yeah.
And who would take it off them? Honda, who they share it with. Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Right, we're on board now, looking at the rear of Miguel Oliveira's bike with Maverick Vinales. He was a Tech 3 rider himself back in the day. Pace has upped over the last couple of laps. It looks like the rain maybe not falling as heavy as it has done over the last couple. It's still falling, as you can see.
Yeah, Sylvain said
halfway through.
The commentary box said, yeah, it's still falling a little. So this track's not going to dry, is it? We're at the halfway point.
Most of the drive, everyone's on wet tires, so
Racing to go, a lot of
at that point, I'd say, depending on how late they pit for the wet, I'd say screw it
Down, face plant.
and just keep going.
Let's just hope that Johann Zarco has the wherewithal to bring it home. Top left of your screen, we are on board with Maverick Vinales in the main picture. Marc Marquez, you've got in that second spot there, 10 seconds now behind. Johann Zarco's just set a 45.
Yeah, that's a quick lap time.
That makes me nervous because that is 8/10 quicker than Marc Marquez. It's 9/10 quicker than Alex Marquez and Pedro Acosta. It's 1.4 quicker than Oliveira and Maverick Vinales.
Yeah, now's the time. I'm being serious. The team needs to tell him. The team need to be giving him the you can lose a second a lap.
Vinales passes Oliveira.
I've heard it said in the past, and I've had it said to me
for
by
5th
people in
place.
the past, oh yeah, but slowing down in this situation, it's not easy to do. You can lose your focus, lose your rhythm. What's your take on that?
Do you know, I was always very good at slowing down. Weirdly, it came natural throughout my career. So, no, genuinely, I do understand that argument. But also, when you've got some flow, Oliveira's having a bit back.
It's coming back.
Good to
Oliveira
see.
repasses for 5th
When
place.
you've got a bit of a flow state, he's riding round.
And then Vinales trying to cross the peck over. Oh man,
You've got a
MotoGP is
10-second
great.
lead, and he's going to come round. There's going to be 11 laps to go. Essentially, it's easy to back it off. All you do is you don't lose concentration. You just don't trail.
And you know,
brake
if
as
Zarco
much.
wins,
When you
it's
turn the
2
throttle, you're not
home
quite as
race
aggressive.
winners in a row.
Just
Alex
smoothing
Marquez
it
in
all
Spain,
off.
and then of
Trust me,
course
Zarco is
Quartararo
not going to
in
lose his
France.
concentration in this race.
3 MotoGP podiums for Johann Zarco on home soil. 2nd in 17 and 21. 3rd in 2023. He was on pole here in 2018 and led the race, and of course it ended in disaster.
Yeah.
But this is the day. This is the moment.
Caps 11 and a half
Everyone
seconds.
at home,
11 to
we're not
go.
favourites. We think they're all heroes out there, but I hope you're cheering this man on because no one deserves it more. He is 34 years of age now, Johann Zarco. He is the oldest rider in MotoGP, and he could be about to double his MotoGP win tally.
Yeah, and do you know what? Don't be mistaken by his quirky personality. We're talking about a man who is obsessed with MotoGP. He trains so hard. He's got a different trainer this year. He's been working closely with him. He's got a different sports psychologist he's been working really closely with. And it's for times like this, moments like this, intense times in a race, in a wet race, where you have to be precise. I mean, he's 1.2 seconds a lap faster than Marc Marquez is going right now.
Lucio Cecchinello.
Now is the time for Lucio to be leaning over. You'll see Lucio
doing the classic.
He'll be doing waving his arms, going the old slow down, because now is the time.
Was that Bruno that time when Cal went and won in the Czech Grand Prix? It's on the wall. Cal said, "What are you doing?" I remember him saying, "What was he doing?"
And like I say, what was it, a few weeks back when you watched the Le Mans 24-hour race around here, it is so easy to make a mistake and you are down. We've seen the crashes in that last part of the track as well.
You don't have to do anything wrong. Look how upright Frankie Morbidelli is. That was on the 6th lap of the race.
Earlier. Whoa, yeah, he went way wide.
That was just as he was about to come in to the pits. He has got back out there, but he's down in 18th. You can hear the crowd in the background.
He's backed it off. Zarco's
cheering him on.
Yeah, Zarco has backed it off.
He's got to keep the tyre under him as well.
Yeah, he would. I think he will do it. I mean, he slowed down by about, I'm going to say, what's that, about 0.8 of a second. Yeah. So then what happens? It actually then does become a lot more comfortable.
So Zarco, Marquez and Alex Marquez, 1, 2 and 3. 12 seconds between Zarco and Mark.
Get the blue flag out.
Yeah, please.
So that's for, I think that's Nakagami?
Okay.
No, it's Bezzecchi in the factory Aprilia. 10 to go.
Pedro Acosta, 6 seconds ahead of Vinales, who is 3/10 ahead of Oliveira. Aldeguer 7th. Taka Nakagami, wildcard this weekend. About to get one of his best MotoGP results in a few years. So Nakagami in 8th. Raul Fernandez 9th. Lorenzo Savadori replacing Jorge Martin, of course. He's in 10th.
Look at the crowd, every lap, every corner, every grandstand.
I feel like they don't want to cheer him on too much, though, get him too giddy at this stage. Rain has picked up again. Ogura is 12th behind Fabio Di Gianantonio. Luca Marini 13th. Alex Rins 14th, and Marco Bezzecchi 15th. Bastianini is 16th. Pecco Bagnaia is 48 seconds behind Bastianini, who's had 4 long lap penalties to perform.
Bastianini's 4
and Frankie Morbidelli is 18th. Here we go.
He's aging.
There we go.
Lucio Cecchinello is aging every corner. The problem is now that it looks like it's getting heavier now, which is not ideal. These wet tyres will be worn.
Really heavy. He just opened the door and I could see.
Oh, be careful.
On that white line.
Yeah, through that part. Look, there we go. There's the wave. Pointing, please. I hope he can see that it's 12 seconds, not 1.2. And we've had these chats in the past.
We saw Pope Leo, didn't we, in the crowd earlier, or at least someone dressed up as him. They'll be praying around here, I tell you, for a first ever MotoGP winner from France, in France. Aldeguer now closing on Oliveira.
It's getting hard to see.
This is lightning in a bottle stuff, and it is getting heavier, the rain out on the French Grand Prix. Drama from start to finish.
And Zarco is not your typical GP rider, is he? He's not got fancy sunglasses.
Aldeguer going for 6th on Oliveira to the inside down that kind of corkscrew area, and he gets it.
Very, very popular here at home. It's funny because both him and Fabio are complete polar opposites. They get on incredibly well. And you feel like, just looking at the fans throughout this weekend, the fan base looks pretty much split 50-50. But I think we're all well aware Zarco's in the twilight of his career. He's the oldest MotoGP rider. What is he, 34? Yeah, 34 years old. He's out of contract at the end of this year. He's definitely going to get a contract.
I mean, he's been awesome so far in that on a number 5 Honda.
Real asset. So
in what should be the junior Honda team.
For him to do this sort of wonderful thing. So yeah, I think the whole crowd is the lead's up to 13 seconds with 9 laps to go.
Fingers crossed, everyone. Could be a special day that you're witnessing. Look how dark it is overhead now.
Gap is 13.5 seconds with 8 laps to go.
We are not quite at 3/4 distance. Oh, we might be actually now, because the race was reduced by 1, wasn't it?
Like he's still circulating. Zarco, 1.1 seconds faster than everybody. Well, Marc Marquez,
who's the best of the rest.
Is 1.3 seconds faster than Alex Marquez. Is 1.6 seconds quicker than Acosta. It's 2 seconds quicker than the others. Oliveira's just gone round 3 seconds a lap slower than him.
Wow.
I just don't want the camera to pan to Zarco.
Oliveira didn't pit at all because he started on the wets. So same strategy bikes.
Vinales there is in 5th place. Aldeguerra's got through on Oliveira for 6th, as we saw. Nakagami 8th, Fernandez 9th, Sabadori 10th. Still Zarco now, pushing on the pace, now 14.1 seconds. He's taken half a second out of Marc Marquez on this lap. Silvan Gintoli alongside.
Silvan's getting angry next to us. There is no need, he's saying.
No need.
And it's true, there is no need, because the problem is, it just goes from underneath you. You're trail braking in and you're down. You are down on the floor before you know it.
I'm watching this through the cracks in my fingers. As I'm sure you are at home too. We are being treated to a spectacle. Wet weather races aren't always the greatest. It spreads out, as we've seen. But it's the nerves. We're on the edge of our seats here. Manu Caso, who's a crew chief for Maverick Vinales. Top left-ear picture, Johan Zarco through the final corner was again very close.
I didn't even know they had radio. And again,
Marc Marquez is coming up to that corner now.
Again, Zarco's doing the same lap times.
7 to go.
14.3. Let's look at what Marquez does. So a 1 minute 46.3 from Zarco. Marquez is 9/10, nearly a full second slower. Alex Marquez is 1.3 seconds slower. I mean, you never see a rider going so much faster than everybody else when you've got a 15-second lead.
It's all called the gravel. Bottoms down! Oh, Miguel Oliveira.
Oliveira down.
As well. Oh.
Miguel Oliveira has crashed out. Did you see all the gravel in that final corner too?
Damn, that scared me.
That's a crash we've seen. We saw it this morning, the Red Bull rookies race in these conditions.
Just come back from injury, Oliveira. I thought there was
damn, on track for 6th place, and he just loses. Oh my God.
There's a little hollow there, a little hollow part of the track. We've talked about it again and again. And that's what
he got,
Oliveira
like, launched off his bike into a forward roll.
That's Marc Marquez who's got through now on Bezzecchi. There is no warning, is there? Oh, here comes Aldeguerra.
Aldeguerra takes 5th on Maverick Vinales.
After a podium yesterday, a stunning weekend from the rookie. Had a 5th, of course, in Qatar, so that would equal his Grand Prix best.
So the message of Susie Perry, she is on the edge of her seat, as you would expect. She's not here this weekend, but obviously watching all the action.
It's a survival of the fittest out there, isn't it? Survival of the bravest, or survival of the stupid, I don't know, with the pace that's being run at the front.
Okay.
6 to go.
Another 46.5. But he's not rolling out of it. He's just keeping going, keeping heat in his tyres.
Well, yeah.
He's in a zone.
Yeah, I know, but I just can't watch.
The commentators are going to have a heart attack.
The LCR press officer has just texted us as well, Irene, saying this is the longest race ever. That's the LCR press office in the middle of the race. And it is, there's still 5.5 laps to go.
This will be interesting.
Oh, I've just heard a crash. It's not, I don't think, Johan Zarco. It's
Alex Marquez.
In this race.
No, the 3rd place runner, the driver who's tied for the points. That's going to give a big margin to Mark.
That's up at turn 1.
Yeah, he's going to get points, but look at that.
Oh man, loses it in the S's.
Look at this.
He had to trying to hold on to it like it was a Bronco. Damn. Oh shoot, you can see the glass breaking on the visor.
Today, a horrible one actually at turn 2, should we call it, when he's about to change direction. Where is he?
Oh my God.
He's going to rejoin. He's probably 6th. Yeah, 6th. Probably salvaging something here. He's just ahead of Taka Nakagami.
Wait. Oh, he's
What a
back on.
race.
No, he's back on. Marquez is back on.
All important points for the championship, of course, as far as Alex is concerned.
Okay.
Showan
Well,
Zarco still
at least,
going.
okay, he
He's
won't
through the
lose that
final
many
corner now.
points then. He only lost 3 spots.
Showan Zarco still going. He's through the final corner now. I mean, he will know. He'll have watched the 24 hours. I guarantee that Johan Zarco will have watched probably all the 24 hours of Le Mans, because he lives, breathes motorcycle racing. He rode his motorcycle, Johan Zarco, from his home in Avignon to Aragon, because he's just a biker.
Yeah.
He is. He's like you or I.
He's so in.
5 to go.
He's not backed off the pace, though. Oh, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be he's on board. So we're going to see him get really clattered. So it's a bad start. He's on wet tyres anyway. I mean, it's a terrible start, in fact. Let's have a look at what happens. He's going to get punted. It's always risky. He's going to go down the outside, but you're always going to get collected if someone goes wide. And get me for this. Bang.
Whoa!
There you go, into the gravel. And at that point, you just think, oh, that's it, race is done.
You know it's your day then when you are leading the Grand Prix by 16 seconds. Here again into Garage Vert.
Di Antonio passes Salvadori for 9th.
And every single part of the racetrack, he's still getting close to the white lines.
What, he's sliding?
So I can tell you, I don't know if you can hear him in our microphones. He's shouting at the screens. He is, well, on the day that Johan Zarco won, he tapped him up. There's your QR code for vote for your rider of the race. I'm going to not tell you who to vote for, but I'm pretty sure I know who's going to win it.
Yeah, no, I know I'm voting
Silva's
for
going
it.
to run into pit lane. He's going to be giving him the slow down signal.
Oh,
I think all the other teams would do as well, because he'd be such a popular winner.
Pedro Costa's up into the podium positions. Let's not forget, Pedro has stitches in his right arm.
Damn.
From keyhole surgery to
Aldeguer's in 4th.
alleviate arm pump. And he's in 3rd in his comeback race. He didn't even know he had to pass a fitness test before riding this weekend. Right, Zarco and Marquez lap times
4 to go.
similar now, but it's Marquez pace that's up rather than Zarco slowing down. He has 10 seconds over Acosta. Oh no, another second quicker for Zarco.
Yeah,
to Marquez on that last lap.
Just a 16.8 second
Hey,
lead.
look, at least if he does go down, there's a chance he remounts in the lead.
4 laps to go. 3.5 laps to go if we want to get precise.
So, Alex
There will be
Marquez's
tears. There will be
wreck
backflips.
only cost him
There'll
6
There'll be
points.
some beer drunk as well.
Well, it could be
There'll be a
only,
bit of
but
guitar
still.
action. I'm sure
He'll
he'll
be
have
10
he'll
points
probably
behind
have a
his
song
his
prepared,
brother.
Knowing Johan, he did. What did he write last year? A little elegy, wasn't it, to the French fans, and he played it on the guitar in front of them on the home straight a year ago. He has dreamt of this moment
We're not there yet.
since he came here watching bikes, I'm sure, when he was a kid. The crowd will go wild. This will be a fairy tale of huge proportions. A moment for the ages if Johan Zarco can win the Grand Prix of France at home, and it's getting closer. It's within touching distance. I just don't want to say it's
started,
gonna
I think,
happen, because
13th
that
on
would
the
be
day.
ultimate.
Now, this is one of them.
Oh, yeah, let me check
We've
that,
seen
though.
pictures of the crowds this week.
11,
families,
sorry.
young families. They do such a good job here. It's a festival feeling. It's got a Glastonbury vibe. People come here for 4 or 5 days. There's loads of entertainment on throughout the weekend.
3 to go. Gap is 17.795.
Just 3 laps to go.
It gets voted constantly over recent years the best Grand Prix of the season, doesn't it? Claude Michy and his team put on an amazing race this weekend. They put it on every single year. They've brought the fans here even earlier this weekend with strikes around, strikes today. They've been here since Wednesday after VA Day, national holiday on Thursday. And they've all dreamt of this. Didn't know if it was possible. Didn't really realistically think it was possible. But it's there. It's there with 2.5 laps
Crash.
to go. And Alex Marquez has crashed again. I just got a yellow banner crashed out with no name next to it. Well, it looks like it's Alex at turn 11. That's the
He's
end of
out.
this race.
Alex
Two
Marquez
Prix
is
scores.
out.
We've got a race on, though. We've got a race for the podium. Aldeguer's closing in.
2
fast.
seconds quicker.
Oh.
My
There you
goodness.
go. That's what we've talked about the
Right.
whole time. That's what happens.
Aldeguer and Acosta don't like each other. They're both from Murcia. They grew up together. No one's really revealed why. I think he's both coming from the same part of the country and wanting to be top dog. But Aldeguer was 2 seconds quicker than Acosta on that last lap. He's the fastest rider on circuit by a second. And the gap now, what's it? I'm going to look through the second split any moment now, is closing at a rapid pace, down to 1.3. 2.5 to go.
Yeah, it's going to be a second when they go over the line.
They just not the best of pals.
No, it's a proper rivalry.
Spanish
So
rivals.
there is
in the
Acosta
lower
on the
series.
37. And he'll know now that Aldeguer is coming. He's got to negotiate back marker. It's Marco Bezzecchi on the factory Aprilia.
And this is a chance for Aldeguer to get his first Grand Prix podium as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, it
2
was
to
his
go.
sprint
Yep.
podium yesterday.
What
Do you think he's
ride.
trying?
Bear in mind, he was late to come in. This is superb from the rookie. He's just using the riders in front as a marker. But as we've seen, a moment, and it will just go. Frankie Carciani also on the edge of his seat.
22-point gap right now in the
This is tightening
championship.
up. Look at it, he's made up 1.9 seconds on this lap.
Careful.
That's the one. Oh, he saw the slip.
Corner. Look at this, all in. Yeah, this is in one lap. This will be. Yeah, he's 1.6 seconds faster.
A reminder that in the championship, Marc Marquez, if he takes 20 points, opens up 22 as the lead over Alex Marquez. Pecco Bagnaia is not scoring a point as things stand, so he's opening up a huge lead. This could be vital as regards the championship going forwards. Here we go there. Oh, a slip from Acosta over the top.
I don't know if he touched the white line there. He might have done.
Oh, Aldeguer trying to find. He's
Aldeguer's
right
got
behind
so much more
Acosta. They go to the next turn. They're side by side. Aldeguer trying to cruise by. He does. Aldeguer to
He's
P3.
powerless here.
You're right.
He's powerless. So Acosta, the trophy falls out of his hands.
The lead is up to 19 seconds now.
Gonna be 20.
We've got 1.5 laps to go.
Oh, this would be remarkable. This circuit will erupt. These bikes are loud, but the French crowd will be louder if Johan Zarco can complete the next lap and a quarter. He's coming up to the final corners for the penultimate time now. Johan Silva, Pierre Zarco. There we have it, Pierre Monneray in 1954.
All right,
The last
white
French
flag is out.
to win his
Last
Grand
lap.
Prix. And just listen to this crowd.
The crowd roaring. Most of them haven't had a rider win on their home soil in their lifetime. It's a rare sight to see, that's for damn sure.
Biggest mistake.
There aren't many French champions, now that I think of it, I don't think. I know Quartararo, I don't know anyone else from France.
He's got a 20-second lead.
Of course, Zarco is not a champion, but I don't think they care right now.
Watch.
I can't.
Half a lap to go. He's through.
The commentators are still scared as hell.
Museum corner next on the hit list. Keep it rubber side down, Johan. Oh. He has ridden just with such smooth grace here today in horrible conditions.
I just don't know if it's my rider of the day, though.
Listen to the crowd.
Damn.
All on their
You can
faces.
hear the crowd over the bikes.
They just want to cheer on their hero. Are we going to hear the Marseillaise in half a lap's time?
Yes, we are.
Oh, look at the tears.
Look at that.
Oh man, going for it. It'll be his second career victory if he can make it around the final corners.
Ringing out.
LCR Honda gonna see the checkered flag for the first time in over 2 years.
Backed it off. Give us a word. Come on, don't give us a
The pit crew getting to the side of the heading to the pit wall. 2 corners left. Final corner. Come on. Johan Zarco wins the Michelin Grand Prix of France. Oh yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. The first French winner in 71 years.
Over the top of the podium in MotoGP here in France. Marc Marquez has done his bit for the championship. And look
Damn.
at the tears.
Marc Marquez second. Aldeguer third, Acosta fourth, Vinales fifth, Nakagami sixth, Fernandez seventh, De Gian Antonio eighth, Savadori ninth, Agura 10th, Marini 11th, Rins 12th, Bastianini 13th, Bezzecchi 14th, and Morbidelli in 15th to close out the points. And the Michelin Man waves the checkered flag.
Couldn't get any more French.
No. Sylvain's in tears. I'm speechless. What a race. What tension.
I tell you what.
Flawless execution
What a
today.
set that Johan Zarco has on it.
The oldest
The
driver
of that race, the
has
pressure
gotten
was
it
on.
done.
He chose the wet weather tyres. He didn't come down pit lane and make the switch. He stayed out when everyone else was coming in and changing. He stayed out there and it's paid dividends. Pecco Bagnaia didn't. He crashed, but he changed tyres crucially. He could have been up there, but he scored 0 points today. Hero to zero stuff, as Hervé Toncheral said to us down on the grid. Zarco's
Man,
the hero,
that's awesome.
0 for Bagnaia.
Yeah, unbelievable. And it was actually no fault of his own getting taken out.
Get your QR code.
Yeah, get your QR
Yeah,
code.
I already voted.
If he gets
my driver.
any less than 99.9% of the votes, well,
I
I'm not
voted
talking
for
to you anymore.
Zarco.
So it goes down, I'm assuming. Never seen him before. Hey, enjoy this lap. Take your time. Yeah. Milk it in. Drink it. These are lifelong memories. Trust me, this is Zarco's the best day of his life. It's every rider's dream to win your home Grand Prix.
It had to be the fairy tale, didn't it? With this
There
record
is victory
crowd
lap.
throughout the weekend.
Waving
And
to
the
all
fairy
the
tales
fans.
come through. And if you've noticed, every single rider is stopping and congratulating Johan. He is a popular rider. Look at that. Chapeau, says Marc Marquez. He fully deserved it. He knocked spots off you today, Mark. By 20 seconds he won in the end. Listen to the crowd.
Oh.
Not getting out of here anytime soon tonight.
And Takaki Nakagami finished 6th. I think that might be his best finish.
I'm going straight to the LCR hospitality when we finish checkered flag.
There will be some party down there.
Well,
for Lucio Cecchinello and co.
Best finish
What about the ride from the
since
rookie?
2021.
Bear in mind that he stayed out there. He was following his more experienced pals, the Marquez brothers.
Yeah.
Had an extra lap.
Outstanding from this man, Aldeguer.
Aldeguer first podium.
An impromptu Marseillaise breaks out now around the circuit. Not quite the French tricolor on his bike, but a day to be proud of. Alex Rins will come up to him.
Yeah. And you know Zarco, guess what? He'll be humble in his interview. He will. But I can't
Well,
believe it.
they've been turning up in their droves for the last few years here, hoping for this moment. He's led them before, crashed out before. He's been on the podium before. The magic never quite happened. But today the dream comes true.
Yeah, and he's only ever won one MotoGP race before. This is only his second ever MotoGP race win.
That wasn't a bad one either, was it?
That was a special one at Phillip Island.
Look at how calm he looks.
That's not hooked it. That's what I'm saying. There's no fanfare. We'll have a backflip, obviously.
I hope so. I'd be very disappointed if we don't get the backflip that we've been waiting for. Where's he going to do it? He's not even going round to Parc Fermé, is he? He's just soaking in every moment.
Good.
So he should.
You're a long time retired.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. We've seen so much here today. We've seen a season's worth of action. Look at that. There's nothing, no better sight, is there? Claude Michi, the promoter.
Anyway, that will do it for today's race coverage. All for MotoGP. We got NASCAR at 3 p.m. at NASCAR's Best Track. See you then. BowserJrXD signing off.